Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Coltrane Conservatory, the Arts Talk Show. We haven't been with you, as you know, for, I think it was 2 weeks we were off, and that was due to all the busy schedule that we had. We were in a recital, which was the 24th at Fuller Park. And it was just absolutely exciting. Our boys and girls really did a great job in terms of their performances, their parents, their grandparents, their friends and family members were very excited and elated at the progress that they are making there at the Coltrane Conservatory of the Arts. And of course, we are there primarily as a music school. We're located at 6353 South Cottage Grove. That is something that we want to make clear. I'd like for you all to take the address down if you need to do that. Also, the telephone number. Our telephone number, by the way, if you can't see it on your monitor, is 773-891-1875. That is 773-891-1875. Now, on today, what I want to do is to talk about with you the importance of getting your young people in the family involved with things of this type, so that they will have something of value to say yes to. And so that's what we're all about there at the Coltrane Conservatory of the Arts. And I want to talk to you, first of all, let me let you take a look at a few things that we at some of our, well, we have one or two things that I'd like for you to take a look at. And maybe if you can see this, that's kind of upside down, isn't it? We're going to have to put it in and let you see it in another way. But at any rate, it's good to be back with you. We were, as I said a moment ago, we have been away for a while. Can you see that? Is that upside? I don't know. What, can you see those? I don't think so. Here, I'm going to have to show that to you like that. We're still getting kind of used to this new facility and what's going on here. You know, this is a brand new facility that they have. This is one of our little drummers, and he's been with us now going on 2 years. His name is Sheldon. And he has gotten to, he's only 8 years old, and he's been with us since he was 6. And he's gotten to be quite a drummer. Now, this is at Fuller Park at 45th and South Princeton. And we were there. This is the first year. This is our 4th recital in the 3 years that we've been established. And this year we took the show, so to speak, on the road. And we went to Fuller Park, and that's where this is as you're viewing this right now. And then, of course, we have just maybe one or two other little things we want you to see. And what I'm noticing here is that when you show these nowadays, according to the technology we're using now, you have to turn them around to face you before they come on the air right side up. But anyway, that said, so we are just happy to be back and to be able to address you once again. You are absolutely the reason that we come on the air in order to address the issues that we have in our community. And with your help, we can all make a difference. We can all make a difference, because ultimately, if we don't get our own communities together, they really won't be put together, because first thing about it is we're the blame, you know. I mean, we must take full responsibility for whatever's going on in our community. And that's the fact. I mean, that's my philosophy in life. Whatever's going on in my life, I feel like it's my responsibility to straighten it out. And quite frankly, I'm the reason that it's going on. Now, you know, again, that's my philosophy. I believe very strongly that we're sowing seeds all the time. You know, we're sowing seeds, and so what we like for you to do is sow a seed for your your son or your grandson, and then send them out to our facility every Saturday at 10:30 to 12:30 to get involved with a beautiful hand drumming program that we have there. And I just know that they're going to love it. We have Bob Mill, whose full name is Melvin Lindsay. He's the instructor there. And they're doing just a wonderful job overall in working with the youth, and some adults actually come to that program. They actually performed on the 24th when we had our recital. But right now, I want to make some acknowledgments today. First of all, I want to encourage you to call today and get more information. You can call this station. The phone number's on the monitor there, 312. You can see it there, and 738-1060. So we're going to encourage you to call. We do have a tech waiting on you, a phone tech, as well as a board operator waiting for your calls. And if you have some comments or something that you'd like to make, we would be more than happy to hear from you. So give us a call here on today. Now, I want to talk about our math and English tutoring program. Now, this is something that we incorporated into our school because we believe that it is very, very critical that especially our young people know how to express themselves in a written form. And we also believe that it is important for all of us to know a degree of mathematics. And that's why we have established these programs, and we want you to take advantage of them. Now, some people have been calling us, and they call, and then we return calls when we're not there. They leave messages, and we're finding that people are not answering their phone unless they recognize, I suppose, the number that's being called from. And in this case, we're asking that if you're really interested in our math and English programs, that you would be very diligent about wanting to get more information and then showing up, because it's not enough for you to say, well, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want my grandson to do this, I want my daughter to do that, and then on the day that you're supposed to show up, we don't see you see. So we're very concerned about that. These programs have been developed for you and this community, and without you taking part in them, that simply says that you're really not serious about your child, you're really not serious about your grandchild, you're not serious about yourself, wanting to go back to school, wanting to be able to pass the GED. You're really not serious. And first of all, we must be serious. We gotta be serious about things that we say we're going to do, the goals that we're setting, and the things that we want to happen in our life. Because if we don't make that investment in our own life, then we can't blame anybody. We can't blame anybody but ourselves. So that's what we're asking. We're asking that if you're interested, you got people out there who don't know how to add or multiply fractions. That's why we have this program here, And even if you are a kid, if a young person is interested in, say, becoming a carpenter, you have to understand fractions to be able to do that. If a young person is interested in becoming a baker, there are certain kinds of fractions, adding fractions, and even multiplying them, because if you're going to put together, for example, let's say, if you're going to put together, let's say, a meal for 30 people, then you got to multiply those the recipe amounts by enough in order to be able to feed 30 or 40 people. And that requires mathematics. Now when you come down to your banking, when you come down to just examining your run-of-the-mill phone bill, or invoice, as they say sometimes, when it comes down to doing that, you need to be able to do these things. And so what we're asking you to do is to get involved with yourself. To don't just, live this life and then get to the end of it and regret that all of these things that you wanted to do, you really, really, really didn't try hard enough to do them. And we're finding that a lot of people are in that particular mode. We want to do things, but we are not able to pull the string, so to speak, and make that first step. Because ultimately, we want to live a life in which we have no regrets in life, you know what I'm saying? In other words, if we don't go for something, if we don't go for some of the goals that we have in our mind, or some of these dreams that we have, we're never going to be happy with ourselves. And somebody said that happiness comes from the inside, that nobody else can give us happiness. In other words, if I had the most money that anybody could have, if I had billions of dollars or maybe even $1 trillion, that wouldn't make me happy, because happiness comes from within. Now, would I be able to pay all of my bills? Would I be able to buy gifts for all of my friends, my family members? Would I be able to buy the biggest car around, or the most expensive car around? Yes. The biggest house. How many bedrooms do I need? Okay, do I need 20 bedrooms? Do I need 25 bedrooms? And so all of this is ridiculous. But when it comes down to my personal goals and me wanting to do something that's going to be fulfilling in terms of my own life and my own development, this is what we're all about. We are here in order to give our communities something to say yes to, so we don't have to run miles away, whether or not it's to the north side, to the western suburb. We can get it in our own community. And that's why we're here. And so we want you to take advantage of these programs, because that's what they're there for. And we really need you to make those phone calls and get involved. We also need volunteers. We need people. I don't get paid to do this, and none of my staff does, okay? So the bottom line is we need people to work, we need people to pass out flyers, we need people to tutor, we need people to help clean up, we need people to help run our computers and to add information and take information away from our website. We need people to get involved with the social networking. We got, right now we have a collaboration with IBM. Thank goodness for that. One of the young politicians in Chicago, Kevin Bailey, I'd be more than happy to say his name. I'm sure that he won't mind, because he's looking at bigger fish, so to speak, down the road, and who knows, maybe one day he'll be the mayor of this city. But he ran for alderman and just barely missed it. And now he is I believe it's called a committee chairman, and he is also a computer scientist, and he recommended us to IBM. He works for IBM, and now we're in collaboration with them in order to build this elaborate social network. In other words, we're going to be tied in like a big corporation or something of that type with LinkedIn, Facebook, and what is it, Snapshot, I think it is. along with a number of others. And so that's going to give us a lot of boost in terms of promoting what we're doing, because if we don't get and right now, the reason I'm stressing this so much is because it's important in our communities, especially in our communities, to give our children, our young people between the 8 years old and say 21 or 2, to give those people something of value to say yes to. I mean, it is absolutely important for us to do that. And so what I'm hoping is that as time goes by, people will begin to see the necessity to work with their children, because we have so many cases where individuals are simply not working with their children. We can't give our children candy apples and chocolate chip cookies and all the ice cream that they can eat, and then go and watch television, turn on a soap opera or some sort of sitcom on television, or go and get on the phone and start talking with a friend or someone. Spending quality time with a child is not simply giving that child all the junk food that they can eat, or sending that child to the movie, or letting that child watch television for hours and hours without saying anything, or making some big chocolate cake or something and letting that child just eat themselves until they can't eat anymore. Spending quality time is sitting down with your child and talking to them about the ins and outs of life, talking to them about how important it is to study hard, to study hard in all of their grades, to respect adults and respect their classmates and other children, young people. Spending quality time is making certain that your child is exposed to these museums around in the city of Chicago, to the Lincoln Park Zoo, to the Brookfield Zoo, to downtown. I've heard so many young people who have never even been downtown. Their parents has never even decided, okay, I'm going to take my child down to Grant Park and just walk through the park. I'm just going to get on the L and we're going to ride down there and just walk up and down Michigan Avenue. I remember hearing somebody say a long time ago, it was a minister, he said, in fact, some of you may remember Reverend Ike. Now I'm not into that type of religion or anything of that type, but you get a lot from listening to people, good listeners, and I remember him saying that if you want to be prosperous, he said, go around opulent areas that are sort of rich and whatnot, and in this case, walk down on the Magnificent Mile, go out on the lake, look at the beautiful buildings down there. So this is the kind of exposure that we need for our children and our grandchildren, and all young people need to have this. These are things that don't cost, all this money and whatnot. You may not be able to go to Hawaii or some Paris or something of this nature, but certainly we can take a ride downtown on Michigan Avenue, and we can expose our children and our young people to these free museums. I think every museum has at least one free day per week, and if not, it's very little that we'd have to pay for them. And also our zoos and places. This is quality time. Sitting and reading a book with your child, whatever it might be, as long as it's a good quality book. And for goodness sake, take these crappy these crappy, vulgar rap songs away from your children. Don't let them listen to that stuff. If you got a child and they're exposed to degrading black women, they're using the N-word, and people say, well, okay, that doesn't mean anything to me, that means something to everybody. I mean, if somebody is believing that simply because it's being used in some joking way that it doesn't mean anything, I got news for you. You're all wrong, So taking all of that junk away from our children and working with our children, and this is why we are here, in order to be part of those experiences that young people can look back on and say, man, oh man, I'm so glad for the Coltrane Conservatory, the arts, for the drumming program, for the math and English tutoring program that I was in, that helped me so much in my regular school work. I'm just so glad for that positive environment that I used to go to when I was 8, 10, 12, 13, 14 years old. And when I look back at it so fondly, because it really helped me as a young person as I was growing up. So that's what we are here for. And that's why I'm stressing to get your children involved with these things. Don't be some person that's talking all the time about, I think I want to do this, I would do this and that. Because we've made a lot of things at our facility free. All you have to do is just walk through the door and get involved. Give us your name and address, the telephone number, and the emergency number, and you're all registered and ready to go. So we're going to be looking for you. Again, I know that we've been away for a while, and maybe that is something that you can tell other people that we're back now. Okay, so you won't see any more reruns. You're going to be seeing things that we are doing on the air ourselves, that we have. We're going to be here live and in color, so to speak. So we want you to be sure that you call somebody and let them know that we're on the air, and that we will be on the air every Monday at 7 from 7:30 to 8 o'clock. Now, we're also streaming. This program streams live on the internet. You can get us on the internet, and from what I understand, some of it we are still getting information about, but from what I understand, we also can be accessed by YouTube, okay? So, and I'm not sure exactly how that's done. You may need to go to YouTube and put in CAN Television, and then put maybe Coltrane Conservatory or the Arts in the search engine box, and it'll bring you to us. So if you want to see this program again, but again, we are at 6353 South Cottage Grove, and all of these programs, these are the programs that we have available, and we do have many programs available. And the bottom line is, if you're looking to learn how to play an instrument, you can learn how to play the saxophone, the clarinet, the guitar, the piano, the drum set, and so many others. Just give us a call, and we'll talk to you about that. Again, if you're interested in doing some volunteer work, you can also give us a call on that. But we are here for you, this community on the southwest side of Chicago specifically, and we want to hear from you. So again, our facility phone number is 773-891-1875, and we're going to look forward to hearing from you. I want to acknowledge our board members, we are board operators rather, and that's going to be Theory Lewis, who is has been with us now for 2 years now, and then of course Lionel Don, who is really one of our instructors also. He's one of our music instructors there. And then of course we have Bob Burford, who is a math tutor there. and a number of other people that we want to acknowledge and say that we appreciate all of you and what you're doing in this community, because no matter who's in that White House, it's left up to us really to get down to the nitty-gritty and to be the ones that change the situation in our communities. So we want to thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you again on next Monday.